So in the past 3 years, we went from a 3-piece to a 4-piece.
Keyboard
to back to a 3-piece to a 2-piece.
Any keyboard players out there looking to audition for Mobius? Can you play that? Can you play those?
They groan.
Because he did that. He asked. I guess we could say who it was, right? It doesn't matter, right? You don't.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, why not?
If you're in the Augusta area, if you're very familiar with Dr. Michael Dinkins,
We played a show with him,
we
actually.
played two shows.
Two shows.
Oh,
yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, back when we did that cover of Tarkus. We tried.
Yeah, we did try.
Oh my god. I was excited. I don't hate the time that we spent with them. In fact, he was the one that forced the issue because I wanted to do that. Right at that time is when I started playing with the sound effects, and we had a sound effect that I created for Turbulence.
Yeah.
And we yet to have practiced it, and I wasn't ready for us to do it yet. But he had it on his keyboard, and on the show, he just started it.
Yeah, he was pretty integral to us using tracks. Like,
yeah,
he was kind of the person who made us realize, like, oh,
you
yeah,
can do that.
Like,
well, he made it easy.
Yeah, well, he's got a nice keyboard.
And he just hit play without telling us that he was doing it in his fashion that he does.
That's also why Ignition has keyboards.
That is exactly why Ignition has keyboards. I wrote because what was happening was
we're gonna have to do another one with Dinkins here.
he was busy a lot, and he told
because
me
he had We Are the Audience, the local band.
He had his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think another band too. I think
he had several bands.
Always has.
He's always got 3 or 4. He's like the Mike Portnoy of the area.
Yeah, he's just always up to something.
So he basically, I got the impression that he would learn the parts if someone would write them for him.
Yeah.
So we were working on Ignition. So I said, well, he's in the band now. We got to write keyboards. So I basically didn't want to do it, but I did it. And now that he quit playing with us, I can't have those parts without it.
Oh yeah, like keyboard is like pretty
because
he never like really.
Michael Dinkins never quit the band.
He never.
So
Technically
he's still part of the band.
He's still in Mobius as far as
he never quit. He never quit, and we never fired him.
Yeah, no, he's just like
he just stopped showing up, even to the shows that we play. He still doesn't show up.
Yeah, we don't go to his shows.
No, we don't. You know, I got this question a couple times.
Yeah.
It was like, why don't you have a bass player? I said, well, we had one, but he quit. And I got this question, why? And I'm like, well, he wants to do his own I mean, why don't you answer it? Why?
A couple of reasons. I really enjoyed playing in Mobius. I think it was an awesome experience. Taught me a lot about the act of playing music, what's important in performance. Get to the center of the question, the real reason is I just had so much going on at that point. I was living in an apartment across town. Some family health issues.
Yeah, that's right.
Arise.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, my dad had a tumor in his back. He had removed. My mom was experiencing heart issues. She ended up having 2 surgeries. My dad had vertebrae removed.
Way more important than being in a band.
I don't think I had.
Especially like with his family.
I had.
The sweetest people.
They're awesome.
Are.
My family is awesome.
They are. They're really sweet.
I was living with my ex-girlfriend and her family, and we had one car in between us.
That's
it
right.
just was not feasible for me to be able to do music once a week.
Honestly, like I wasn't even really salty at all when he left.
I was not either.
When he left, I was like, I can understand it.
I totally got it. I wasn't upset.
The kind of music we do in this band does require a lot of it requires a lot, and I wouldn't want to force that on anybody.
Yeah, and I mean, I was really into it at this era.
You were.
I was pushing this band hard.
I was really happy.
We hung out a considerable amount, so I was like, it was kind of like fucking mind blowing, but at the same time, it was still like, whoa, that's a hefty loss.
I had like
I thought we were done.
A domestic life. I had one car, and it just. I was beat down by life. I was feeling like that outside of the band, and it was so hard for me.
And Mobius is not a thing you can take lightly.
No, it's an all or nothing experience.
That's exactly
is.
why I wasn't upset with you when you quit.
I understand. I was actually not happy, but I was like, I'm glad you realized it now.
It was a very mature decision, actually.
Yes,
that's why I couldn't be mad about it. I was like, he made a very mature decision.
Because
I can't be mad at him for doing something.
The Travis before that would have tried to make it work.
Yeah.
And then it would have been a big disaster, and I would end up hating him.